Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to another session of Google Intro into Google Docs. We're on session 3 now, 3 of 5, and we've been covering some really cool things over the last two to 3 weeks. So today we're just going to have a bit of a recap of what we've done, and we're going to look at Google Slides today, which is the presentation side of Google Documents. All right. Please hit us up on our live chat on our YouTube page. That would be fantastic. If you've got anything that you would like us to look at while we are going through our session today, please let us know. All right. Exciting news as well. We have just received delivery of our steel for Diego's, the cafe bar that will be launching later this year. The steel will be holding up, hopefully, the wall in between the two buildings that we have here at Mealy Surrey. And we're hopefully, well, not we, the builders will be knocking down the wall in between the two buildings to create that lovely new space that's going to appear as if by magic. So fantastic news and a massive step forward. So well done everybody, and they were quite heavy. Right, okay then, so let's get cracking, shall we? So, welcome to session 3. Let's just quickly show you where we were at with our course at the minute. And just by the way, this is what Google Sheets is. It's a slide type document creator where you can create presentations. And this is what I do all my presentations on because I find it the most easiest and easily accessible presentation creator out there. Okay, so here we are. We're on session 3. We had a taster session where we had a quick overview of all the areas that we're going to cover. We had session 1 where we looked at Google Documents. I really enjoyed that session. That was great because when we looked at Google Docs, which is the word processing side of Google Drive, we looked at how to create a menu and how to link that menu to Google Sheets, which is the spreadsheet side of Google Drive. So we created a menu, we linked it to a spreadsheet that had the price list of some starters that we made up, and we linked them. So if the spreadsheet got updated, the menu would get updated. So that saved an awful lot of time if you were, a restaurant owner or somebody like that, and you wanted to create your own document, your own marketing and stuff like that. That was a really cool little session. And we also looked at quick ways of amending a document or quick ways of setting up a document. Using preset words, the preset headings. In order to change the look and feel of a document when that need arises. Say a new menu might come up, or new logos and new marketing changes, anything like that. We set the document up so it was easily changeable. Just to let you know, we do have the builders in, so you might hear some banging and clattering downstairs, and I might get people popping in every now and then. Okay, but we'll try and not let it affect our session as much as possible. Okay, but it is a working building now, and it will be for the time being. Let's quickly go back. Right, so session 2. We looked at Google Drawings, and I've got some really cool information based on a little snag that we hit the last session, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on down today. But we looked at Google Drawings and how to create logos and things like that using Google Drawings, which is it's like kind of an application within Google where you can create your own images. Okay, not realistic images, but we call them in the industry we call them vector-based images, but images with lines and shapes, basically. All right, and then we try to link that with Google Sheets, and we hit a little snag there, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that today and how I try to overcome it and what methods I used to try and find out some information, because I think that's quite vital in learning how to navigate Google Drive. Today's session, we are going to look at Google Slides, so the presentation side of things. I have been working on Google Forms earlier this week as well, so I'm really excited to be showing you some how that works next week. And Google Forms is an application where you can create your own surveys and customize them, give them your own branding, and it collects all the information that you need and actually gives you charts and things like that. So we've covered a lot. We will be covering a lot more, and hopefully they'll be quite interactive and they will be quite interesting. The last thing I want you guys to do is sit there and be drumming your fingers on the table because we're presenting a boring session. So what I try and do and what we try and do at Media Savvy is try and take the elements of what can be a dry subject, i.e. Microsoft, well, not Microsoft, but a PowerPoint or a word processing tutorial, and we try and make something cool and creative with it in order to try and show you the potential of those programs. All right. As always, we have enrollment forms. Please fill these in, guys. They're really important for our funders. It's to demonstrate that we are delivering the sessions to you guys that we said we would when we applied for funding through the National Lottery in this case. So we just got a form here. If you just click the link like I did there, just click that link. It'll take you to the form. Fill that form in, basic information, okay, and then send that back to us, okay, using our usual contacts, okay. If you get stuck or need a hand with any of this, just let us know, okay. But they're really important to obtain from ourselves, so we can pass them on or have them as evidence for our funders. Something also what we find really important is our feedback forms. This is obviously titled storyboarding, so we need to change that. And actually, what we'll do is we'll keep that little error there for the time being, and I'll change that in our session next week, okay. And obviously the session next week is how to use Google Forms, and that's what this program is here. But what it is, you can still fill this in, that'll be absolutely fine. Fill this in, and it's just to really help us develop our sessions for the future, okay. So any feedback that you've got on the session today or in the future, fill these in, because these are really vital in order for us to improve our teaching. All right. Okay, so that's that out the way. So today we're going to have a little recap of session 2. We're going to look at one of the issues that we experienced last week, and it was towards the right at the end of the session. We had a little issue with trying to link our logo that we created in Google Drawings. We tried to link that in with our spreadsheet in Google Sheets, and we hit a little issue there, and it wasn't happening, and it was something that I completely overlooked. I thought it was an obvious thing, considering that facility was available in Google Documents, but I was wrong. So I found a workaround, and I've contacted Google, and I'll talk to you a bit more about that in a little while. So that's that little point there, and then we've got an action-packed session. Really, we've got 3 activities that we're going to try and cram in as well. As always, we have a break halfway through, so at around about 2 o'clock today we're going to have a little break. But the 3 activities what we're going to look at today is we want to create a slideshow using some snaps, holiday snaps, They're not really my holiday snaps. I wish they were, because they're quite exotic. They're just photographs I've downloaded, royalty-free photographs I've downloaded from the internet, and I'll show you how to do that. And we are going to create a slideshow in Google Slides using those images. Within that, we're going to look at the templates available in Google Slides, and then we're going to create our own document from scratch as well to show you how easy it is to do that. In activity 2, we're going to look at creating a quick animation. Again, like I said, I try and create these little sessions for you that might not be the way the normal way that providers might be teaching these sessions, but I wanted to try and push the boundaries of Google Slides and try and create animations within Google Slides, and I'll show you how to do that. That might interest you, and it kind of links back to a previous course that we taught a few weeks ago, which was storyboarding. And you can actually use Google Slides to create your own storyboards as well. All right, so we'll have a look at that later on today. And then our last activity of the day, we'll be looking at we're looking at more the professional end, the more expected end of Google Slides, creating a presentation that will kind of tie in with our last week's activity where we created our own logo for a recycling company. Okay, so we're going to use that logo and we're going to mess about with it in Google Slides to try and create a professional looking presentation. And I'll show you guys how you can use that to create a template as well. Now, as always, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, your feedback to these sessions are absolutely paramount to the success of Media Savvy, but also the success of how we can deliver and reach out to reach out to other learners and appeal to other learners as well. So please put your feedback in our chat here. Hi Wib, how's it going? Hope you're well. Nice one, Wib. Nice to see that you're there. And we'll look at that feedback and we'll try and incorporate it into our session live. All right. So that's where we are today. So strap yourselves in, guys. Grab that cup of tea. I will. And we're going to look at a little 10-minute, 15-minute recap of last week's session. All right. So last week we looked at using Google Sheets. This is Google Sheets now, a different application. It's a spreadsheet. We looked at using Google Sheets to create some personal finances. We used the cells there to list all the things that we might expect to go out of our bank account every month, how much they were, and then we used some maths within, basic simple maths that we didn't have to calculate, but we told the computer to calculate totals and how much we have left to save. Really kind of useful, I think. I know a lot of people who do use this to do the personal finances. It's a good way of tracking what you spend your money on and how much money you might have left at the end of the month or how much you don't have left, and it helps you kind of manage your finances. So we used Google Sheets for that, and that was really useful, I think. We also used it to create an invoice, and within that we used the same kind of method as creating our personal finances. We listed our services or products that we were selling as this recycling company, and we included the totals and the VAT and the actual total of the price. So if I can try and find it, I'll show you. I'll move on and I'll show you. I've got some better workings out in a minute, but yeah, that was really useful for that. And as demonstrated last week, we were able to alter the quantities, alter the prices for each quantity, and the totals and the VAT and all that was worked out. So that was really useful. And once you've set that up, guys, if you want to use create your own invoice or something like that in Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, the same formulas apply, and once you've created it once, you can use that as a basis of future invoices. That really speeds up your work, your working practices. And nowadays, you know, when time is money and all that, you want to try and knock these out as quick as possible, and concentrate on the things that you really are providing. If you're making chairs or if you're building walls or whatever, that's where you want to be making your money, not wasting your time writing invoices. So that's that. This is a quick recap of the maths that we did. So we looked at the items that we had, how many there were, how much there were each, and that allowed us to calculate the amount. And then we looked at, so these are some of the examples. So there's 3 chairs, 3 times 10, obviously 30. And then we added another entry in there that was a table, and then we had 2 tables, etc. Okay, so then we had 2 amounts that we needed to add up, £30 and £40, which give us the £70, which was a subtotal, and that's what a subtotal is. It's the total of total sum of things getting added together before you start messing about and working out tax and things like that. Okay, so that was our subtotal total, £70. We calculated our VAT. Well, we didn't. We told Google Sheets to calculate 20% of 70, which was, what was that? £14, was that right? That's right, yeah, £14. And then we added £14. Then Google Sheets, we told Google Sheets to add that to the subtotal, which give us £84. Okay, so that's how we worked out, or how we kind of told Google Sheets to work out our invoices. And it was really, really simple. The maths looks quite complicated, but it really isn't. If you just go back to the first, for this page here, all it is, guys, is what you're selling, how many, how much they cost each, and then the total, or the amount for that. And then you might have several different entries for different products that you're selling, and then you just follow the simple maths. And this document, guys, is available for you to access at your leisure, and I'll put it on the I'll put it on our live stream a little bit later on, probably at the halfway point. Okay, so that was the maths part of that last session. Quick recap on the Google Drawings application within Google Drive. So if you remember, guys, I'm just going to show you this now. This is Google Drive, and Google Drive is just basically the file management kind of file management window that allows you to access the different applications within Google. Okay, within Google Drive. So Google Drive is kind of the big how would we just big toolbox, if you like. And within the toolbox, you've got different tools, and within that toolbox, you have Google Documents, which is a word processing application. You've got Google Sheets, which is spreadsheets, Google Slides, which is the presentation side of things, and then Google Forms. And then there are more, and we'll probably touch on the more aspect of that maybe in the last session, which will be in 2 weeks' time. All right, so that's that. So Google Drawings is the drawing side of Google Drive, and we created this lovely little logo where it was trying to show a upcycling company. So we're taking an old tatty bit of furniture, giving it a new lease of life, and it looks like that. And this is our logo, and we try to use this logo in our spreadsheet, and this is the little snag that we came across. Now I just want to quickly go back a couple of weeks, if I can, and show you something that I found I just still think is really, really cool. If I can find it, let's have a quick look. Let's see if I can find it. Google Drive, intro, session 1. Oh, it's not there. Okay, session 2. it's not there. But basically, what we had was we had. Let me just go back a couple. This is what I was looking for, right? So we had this lovely menu that we created. Okay, we messed about. This is in Google Documents. We put a table of contents in there, put some text in there, a nice image, a repeating image, and then this is what I find really powerful in Google Documents. You could actually link a table, this table here, to an actual spreadsheet in Google Sheets. So if you look at this is starters, okay? Starter 1 is £1, for example. If I can show you the menu, okay, see if I can find it. Sheets, just type this into the search bar. Let's have a quick look. Right, so there is the table that is linked to this document, okay? So if I change that to £20 for the first starter, okay, this should prompt us to update, which it does. If we click update, that has changed, okay, and I think that is really, really powerful, okay. So that kind of seamlessness between the applications is what you can expect in Google Drive. However, my naivety kind of pushed that on a little bit further, and I thought that we could create this lovely logo here, and then go into Google Drive and create. Let's see if I can find it. Invoice. Upcycling invoices, and link it to our Google. Link our drawing to our spreadsheet, and that wasn't the case. And we've done a little bit of investigation live on the session to figure out how we can do it. There is an image there, but it isn't linked directly to this image. Okay, now I want to talk to you about the process that I went through after we finished the session last week, because it seems like a very obvious thing to be able to do, and it wasn't. Okay, so there wasn't any link there. We couldn't create a link between those two drawings. The reason why I wanted to do that, guys, is the same reason why I wanted to create a link between the menu in session 1 and the actual table of the menu in the sheets. If we, for example, wanted to change the logo and give the logo a new look, I wanted our documents, our invoices, to reflect that change. Okay, and that wasn't possible. So what happened? What did I do? Okay, I've done some Google searching, like everybody else tends to do nowadays, to try and find out how to deal with that issue. Okay, and this is the first port of call I took. This link here, right? I'm gonna have to come out of here 2 minutes. Okay, this was the first port of call. I'm going to show you it now. I went to this support, so I typed in Google Drive support or contact or live chat or something like that in Google in the Google search bar. I came to this window, scrolled all the way down to the bottom, and I found. Let's have a look. There was a chat facility on there. Let's have a quick look. Google support live chat. Clicked on there, went down to the bottom. Let's say go into there. Oh, right, that's it, yeah. So I'm not sure why it wasn't showing us there, because it should show us at the bottom here. It's exactly the same page, but it's a need more help section. So if you click on that, and then you can click contact us, and I filled in the form, typed in what my issue was, went through the process, and then I had a live chat with somebody from Google, and we tried to navigate that problem. in the end, the outcome was that that facility is not available in Google Sheets. Okay, so we cannot link our Google drawings directly to our invoice at the minute. What they did suggest was to raise a feedback form, which you can see is at the bottom here. Send some feedback on. And I'm not going to bore you guys today with me writing a feedback form, but that's what they suggested me to do. Send feedback on general health experience, content information. And then I'm going to, after today's session, I'm going to do that now and input that there. The advisor from Google told me that they would do the same, but he said he thought it was going to be a bit more effective if I send a feedback form and they send a feedback form on our behalf, and then hopefully their software will get amended or updated in the future, so long as quite a few people have raised that as a problem. But that's why feedback is really important, guys. Okay, so if you do have any feedback coming back to our session, to let us know about any issues or any positives or any constructive feedback, it's really, really important to give us it so we can then do something with it, and that's what I'm going to do with Google. Okay, so that's where we were with that. Right, the workaround. What's a workaround to this issue then? Well, there's two that I can think of, and I'm sure you could probably think of some more, so please let us know how you would overcome that problem in our chat. But the two ways I would look at combating that issue would be: two, in Google Documents, I would probably look at creating a folder, and I'll call this folder logos. And then what I would do is, within that folder, I would say create a new folder, 2021 logos. Okay, what I would do with this is I would put this logo file and I would move it into the logos folder if I can. So basically you've got a logos folder, and then what I would do is I would download this or make a copy of. Can I do that? Oh, I can't do that. I would download a JPEG or a PNG of this logo. I've downloaded this onto my computer now. And then what I would do, there might be a better way of doing this, but what I would do is then I would upload that logo and put that logo into this folder, and I would keep all of my logos for 2021 or for whatever period or whatever in one central place. Okay, then what I would do, I'm going to remove this for now. I'm going to insert that logo here. So I'm going to go, let's have a look, insert image. So it wouldn't be a drawing now, it would be insert image over cells. I would find that logo which I've uploaded to my drive folder. I'll go in there, go into there, go into there, and I would use that logo and insert it. And I would do this for all the areas, all the applications that doesn't allow you to link Google drawings to. So obviously you could probably do that, get away with that. Let's see if we can get away with doing that in our insert in Google Docs. Let's see if we can do that, because I'm not too sure. Drawings from Drive. So you can do it in Google Documents, and you can create that link to the source there. So that's absolutely fine. But all the ones that you can't do, all the ones that you can't create that link to, i.e. Google Sheets, I would upload the JPEG or the PNG. I'll put that put that into a separate folder, and then I would use that. Okay, when the time comes that you want to change this for whatever reason, I'm going to change that to green just to demonstrate. Wherever there is a link in your drive to, I'm going to have to undo that now. Wherever there's a link in your drive to the logo, for example, this one that was just put into this menu just to show you. We've made that change. I'm going to change that again to orange. Wherever the change is, you should be able to update it. Happy days, you can, right? However, we can't do that with this one because this is a different image. So what we need to do is we need to download that image. Okay. We would then need to go to our drive, go to our logos folder, and what I would do, excuse me, press the wrong button there. I would change this to the same name as that. Can you see? It's 1 in that bracket there. Okay, so I'll go to my downloads folder. There, I'll get rid of this because I don't need that anymore. And I would change that name to 1. Go back to Google Drive. I would put that into my Google Drive, and then it says you already have a version of this, so they've attached the new one. Okay, so what we've done is we've kept the same name and it's overridden the oldest document. Okay, now that we've done that, if we go to our Google Sheets, you can replace that image by going image replace, browse your folder. Oh, sorry, the wrong way. Go to Google Drive, find your logos, and reinsert it. And that should change, but it hasn't. Of course it hasn't, because this is a live show, and it would obviously not play ball while we're live to make me look like an idiot. So I don't know why that's happened when it should work and it hasn't. Let's have a look at that image. So that image is obviously the one with the orange arrow. That isn't, so we're going to get rid of that. Let's have another go. Insert. Let's refresh this actually. Insert image over cells. Let's try it again. Root toot rat-a-tat-tat, logos. Okay, that's the one that we want. Insert. And for some reason it hasn't. So, okay, we've spent enough time on this logo today, and I don't know why that hasn't changed. That's how I would have dealt with it, and I do not understand why that's not working. The second way of doing it would be to create your invoice in Google Documents, which is probably, now knowing that that's not playing ball at all, it's probably better to create your invoice in Google Documents, link in your table, get rid of this nasty logo that's causing all these kind of problems, link your table, insert from sheets, that's it, insert that, whack that in there. There's one very valuable lesson from these two issues that's happened recently. Never presume even the basic things, and always have more than one option of solving a problem. Okay, so let's have a quick look. We're going to insert our link, maybe link a table. Can't even remember how I've done it now. Insert. I think we just copied it, didn't we? Too sure now. Select the cells that you want. Control C to copy. Control V. That's it. Control V to paste it into your document. You want to create a link to that spreadsheet. Yes, you do. And there's your invoice. All right. And then what you could do is you get rid of the. You just have to mess about with it a little bit. You need to get rid of the lines. Change the formatting. Here we go. To try and hide the lines. Edit. There you go. So there you go. And then what you would also do is you would insert your logo from your drawing. This is probably the better way of doing it actually. Insert. Put that over the text or behind the text. Do. And remember last week we looked at, it's week 1, sorry, we looked at headers. I would probably put insert your drawing into your header, and it'll just keep it out of the way. So from Drive, click on that, click that, and there's your logo. Make it a little bit smaller. And there you have it. Okay, you would have to mess about with it a little bit more, but this would actually work. So let's just, I dare not do anything now because it's probably going to prove me wrong every time I try and suggest something. But if we change that 2 to a 4, is that going to change anything? You would have to change it in here. It's going to ask you to update. Should ask you to update. There we go. It's asking us to update. It's updated the quantities, and then you could just print out your invoice. Not the most ideal scenario, but once you get familiar with the your process, once you've done it once, you're basically using Google Documents to have your preset logo on there and using it as a way of printing your file. Okay, so like I say, not the most ideal, but that's that. So let's just go back a little bit. It's now 22. We're going to break in 20 minutes. Let's move on to today's session. All right. So not the most ideal, but it does work. And at the end of the day, what we need to do when we're doing anything with computers, especially, we just need to make it work sometimes. And if you're right up against it, you've got a deadline. It doesn't really matter how you do something, as long as you can achieve the end result. And we can with those 2 options, or one of them anyway. Okay, so let's fast forward. I've been waffling on, showing you stuff that doesn't work, but let's try and show you some stuff that does work. Right, so activity 1, this is quite a cool little activity. We're going to create a slideshow from holiday photographs. Okay, we're going to look at a template and how to do it from using a template. We're going to look at how to create our slideshow from a blank document, and how to obtain our images. Are we going to upload them to Google Drive, or are we going to upload them from our computer? Okay, so let's get started. So as always, we always start with in Google Drive, and what I'll do is I'll create a new Chrome window without any tabs, and we'll start from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to type in Google Drive in the search bar. You can follow along with me if you want, or you can just watch and then watch it back later. Google Drive, Leon. Google Drive. Bang. There we are. And then you'll be presented with this window. And remember, this is just your file management kind of area. And then you've got different locations of where your files might be. Some of your common files that you're using. And this is the button that we want to click on. We want to click on the new button there. And then we're going to go to Google Slides. We're going to click on this little arrow here next to Google Slides that asks us, do we want to start from a blank document or we want to start from a template? What I want us to do now is I want to click on template, and I'll show you some of the templates available in Google Slides. Okay, and they look pretty swish. If you look through them, just scroll through them here. These are the pre-set ones, and then I think you can download more or access more. And these are the recently used ones, and I'm going to click on this one because I think this one's quite a nice one. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, and then here we have preset images in a specific format here. Alright, so obviously these images are not applicable to us, but it just sets that format and sets a style for you basically, and you can just change it. So all that hard work has been put in. So it says West Coast road trip. Let's say I don't know, sunny Seaburn. Okay, you can put your name in there if you want, or you can just remove that. You can put the date in there, which is June, and you can see without any messing about, you can quickly assemble a really cool little slideshow. Okay, at the top here, as in all of the applications that Google have to offer, you just want to have the name there. So I'll change the name to slideshow, or what was it, holiday slideshow. Okay, and then you can choose where you want to save that to. I'm going to save that into our session 3 folder. Okay, I'll click on there, move it to there, and then down here you've got a lot of different options. So you've got your obvious options that a lot of us will be familiar with. Our file, where we can create new documents, we can open things, we can email this slideshow or this presentation, we rename it and things like that. All right. In the edit, you've got everything else that you would expect in edit, to undo things, redo things, cut, copy and paste, and some other bits and pieces I don't really use. View, insert's something that you're going to be using quite a lot if you're doing and following this kind of activity, where you can insert images. You can upload them from your computer, which we will be doing in a minute, and you can upload them from Google Drive as well. Okay, and something else I'm going to show you, I'm really sailing quite close to the wind here because I haven't planned to do this, but I think I'm going to try and show you Google Photos as well today, and maybe we'll look at that at the end session as well in a bit more in depth. But Google Photos is a cool little thing I want to show you, and I'm going to make a note of it because I probably will forget. My nickname in the office is Captain Chaos, and 3 guesses for why that is. So I'll make a quick note. Photos, Google Photos. So hopefully I'll remember that today. So that's our insert, and then we've got different audio as well. We can put audio files in there. Never tried that before, but let's give that a go today. See, we can put some audio in there, a video. You can put video in there, and so on and so forth. All right, and the rest I'm not going to show you them all. I'm just going to show you bits. And if there's anything else you're interested in, just feel free to have a play around. All right, but let's see if we can get some audio in there today. I don't know how that's gonna turn out, but you know, It's a Thursday. I'm wild. What can we do? So format is how we present our text and everything. So in there, too sure why that's not working at the minute, but maybe if we select our text, yes, then we can mess about with our format. We can make it bold, underlined, and stuff like that. Mess about with the line spacing if we wanted to. Give it page numbers or bullet points and things like that. All right, and then this is a slide. So in Google Slides, okay.
No.
Okay. Cheers, Adrian. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Back in the room there. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, back in the room. Sorry, there we had a little glitch with our internet connection and we dropped out. So much apologise for that. All right. Where were we? So we were looking at looking at the different options available in Google Slides. Here we have the slides, the individual pages. Okay, so that's our front page, our first page, and we move our way along. And then we have the present button. Now this is a button that you would press when you want to, if you had a projector or you wanted to show somebody on your screen your slideshow. So this is the first page. You click, that's the second page. Click, it's the third, fourth, etc., etc. Okay, and then you can also share like you've shared previously with the other Google applications. So what we're going to do now is we're going to upload some images. So let's have a look at our task for today. Using a template, we're going to upload images to Google Drive. Upload images to Google Drive. Okay. So also going to show you how to download images as well. So this is a process I went through just to to find some resources for the images today. So I typed in royalty-free holiday images, and I've searched the internet quickly and found some cool pictures. All right, and all I did there was download. Click on the image I want, free to download, and when I say royalty free, basically it means you can use it for educational purposes, or you can use it for even commercial purposes. But what you need to do is you need to credit the person here who's created and offered that image to that website. Okay, and usually there's some kind of all you can do is click that and you're going to credit that person. Okay, and that individual from where that file comes from. Now obviously if you've got your own images you wouldn't need to download them as such, but if you found some images online that helped with your presentation, this is what you would need to do, or one of the things that you could do. Okay, so you would download the image from the internet onto your computer. So this image is now sitting on my computer in the downloads folder. Okay, and if we click on this little arrow, click on the show folder, there it is there. Okay, now the next stage, one of the things I wanted to show you was how to upload images. Okay, so if we go into our Google Drive folder and we go into session 3, I've already got these holiday photos there. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to show you how to upload an image into this folder. So I want to go into this folder, and as you can see I've already got some images in there, but I'm going to upload that image that is sitting on my computer at the minute. I'm going to take that and put it into this folder in Google Drive. And to do that, you can click New, and then you can upload, File Upload. Now there's two options, folder, and I've done this previously, and it's all it is you're uploading a folder that contains individual files. So, for example, if I can quickly show you on my desktop. Leon's graphics. If you go into holiday photos, all I did was click that and upload the folder, and that folder has all these images in. However, we don't want to upload a folder for this example. We just want to upload a file. So we're going to click on that. We're going to go to our downloads because that's where that image is sitting, and that's the image there. And we're going to click open, and that's going to bring in that image there at the bottom, and it's uploaded it. There you go. It just tells you upload complete. So that's how we download images. That's how we upload images. We downloaded images from the internet, and we upload, and they sit on our computer, and then we upload them onto our Google Drive account. Right, so we've got a bunch of images here. What do we do with them? Right, we have this really cool template, and what we're going to do is we're going to use this template as the format to our slideshow. We've already changed the text, we've already changed the date, and what I'm going to do now is replace these images in exactly the same position with the images that I've uploaded onto our Google Drive here. So all we do is click on the image, right click on it, and let's have a quick look. Format options, I believe it might be. Could be wrong. Let's have a look. Here it is. Right. So click on the image, click on this button here, which is that's a replace image, sorry. Click on the replace image, and then you're going to look for we're going to look for the image that we've uploaded. It brings out this little window here inside our Google Slides application, and it'll automatically point you to the most recent file that you've uploaded. So I'm going to use this because that's the one I want to replace it with. I'm going to click on that, and there you go, to replace that image with the new one that we wanted. And all it is this is just a cropped version of that one image. So if I insert the image as a whole in exactly the same way, click on that, insert, that's the image, okay, and that is just a cropped version of it. Now what we can do, I'm just going to delete that. What we can do is we double click on that image, it shows you the entire image, and we can just move it about to a bit more of an interesting position perhaps, and that's where that, and then click off it, and that's where you'll be. Okay, let's move that image down a bit, make it a little bit bigger, and that would be that. And we'll do exactly the same to that image. We're gonna now search for that image because that most recent isn't applicable to us anymore. So I'm going to go to my drive, intro 2, and I know that's Google Drive, I think. Well, Google Drive. And then I don't know what these are. What I'll do here is I'll list these instead of having them visible this way. So I'll click on that, then you can see exactly what we're looking at instead of guessing. Click on session 3, holiday photos, choose the next one, double click on it or click replace. There's the image, exactly the same. Again, Google Drive, choose a different image, let's choose maybe that one, double click on it, reposition, and there you go guys. That's how you add images to, obviously this isn't Seaburn, but you know, there you go. That's how you add images and replace images. So all you're doing is you're keeping exactly the same format and uploading your images, and you would do that all the way down. You might want to change the background to that if you can. Let's have a look. So if you click on the background button here, you can change that color to something else, maybe a nice warm sunshine color, or maybe a bit more of a sunshine color, which maybe that orange there. And I'll just notice the time, so I'll just wrap up this activity now. So and then you can just change the text. So this could be day 1 in Seaburn, or you could put day 1 Seaburn, and then so on and so forth, you know. And if you're not happy with the layout, then you can just move the images about, move your text. You might want to put your text there instead. And as you can see, those magic lines are appearing to help you position your text and your imagery, so you're kind of looking all nice. And that's how you do that. Now let's have a quick look on our activities list today and see, make sure we were doing everything that I said I wanted to do. So we've created a slideshow using a template. Alright, for a blank document, we'll do that now before our break. I've showed you how to upload images from Google Drive, and I've showed you how to bring images in to your Google Drive from your computer. So let's have a look at a blank document next, okay? So let me go back to our slideshow. And remember guys, this is automatically updates every time you're making any amendments. And then when the day comes that you want to show somebody the presentation, we'll go back, because I feel as though I'm going a bit fast. You click on this little present button. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to click on it and see what it says. Present view, present with audience, question, Q&As, and speaker notes. Okay, we're going to have a look at that later. So we'll click on that, and there's your presentation. And you just click your mouse to scroll through those images. Okay. Right, let's quickly go to presentation, and this will show you a blank presentation. Okay, it gives you some themes here that pops up here. So these are different themes, and these different presets, a bit similar to the template, but just background images to try and make your image look a little bit more fancier. All right, but we're not going to use any of them, because we're going to do a blank document. So it'll give you that one first page. You click on there, and you can click here, holiday 2021. You can type in there Seaburn, and you change the text in exactly the same way as you'd change the text in Google Documents. You would select the text, change the size here. You can change the font there. You could change the color, so on and so forth. And then when the time comes you want to add a new page, you just right click your mouse into this space, and you've got some options, and you click new slide, and then it automatically sets out your new slide with a title, and then you can start typing away again. Insert your images from your drive, or wherever. Let's see if there's another image that we haven't used. That's quite a nice one. That's a nice one. Insert that. You can resize by clicking these little handles, position them, and then you can add your text. Okay, and then you just keep on going. And if you actually really like that simple format, or if you really like the format you've created on that page, you don't need to create a blank document again. No, all you need to do is click on that, right click on it, and click duplicate slide, and it'll create an exact copy. And then all you need to do then is change the wording, and you might want to replace the image. Okay, from Google Drive, and you can see how quickly it is to build up a little presentation quite easily once you get your head around the different options. Okay, so you've got your slides on the left. These are the different slides as part of your presentation. Whatever you click on will show in the middle, will show the actual slide that you want to work on. You've got speaker notes here, so and these are notes. Maybe if you are presenting formally, you might have some notes here. So it might say canal now on the Wednesday evening, for example. This wouldn't be visible to anybody else in the presentation section, but it would be available for you if you were presenting, and that's where that comes in, I think. In the presenter view, for example, you can see this is your presentation here. This is your different slides, and then it shows you your notes as a presenter. Okay, but here, for example, let's go back a minute. Let's click on this, click on that. So this is what you're going to see. This is what you would see on your laptop, for example, but on the presentation you would see this screen here. Okay, right, so I think we've covered that one, that activity for this first half of this afternoon. Okay, we're going to move on to something a little bit more interactive and a little bit fun, depends which way you want to look at it. In the next half of the session, there's two more activities I would like us to look at. The second one is to create some animations. Okay, I want to show how you would simulate an animation using Google Slides, and I want to show you how to utilize animations, inbuilt animations and transitions within Google Slides. Okay, and that's what we're going to look at after the break. We're going to break now for 10 minutes. So guys, if you want to come back at 17 minutes past 17 minutes past 2, we'll pick up there and have a little break now. And then again, guys, remember, if you've got any feedback, please put it in here into our chat. But we'll come back in 10 minutes and we'll start the next activity. All right, thanks very much. Okay guys, welcome back to the second half of our intro into Google Drive session 3, where we are looking at Google Slides today. Okay, so before the break we talked a lot, but we focused on Google Slides and how to create some really cool, quick slideshows, okay, or presentations, and that's what Google Slides is all about. It's about creating some really nice, quick and easy presentations. The layout and format is very similar to Google Sheets, Google Documents, and what's the other one? Google Drawings. However, these are set up in a way that you can view your slides and you can move your slides, duplicate your slides, and they're a lot more interactive.
Camera's off me.
All right, okay, brilliant. Thanks very much. Yeah, I thought I was being clever, everyone. Hiding myself, mess about with my phone during the break, and I left my camera off. So hopefully you can still hear me, but Haytham's just pointing me in the right direction. Right, yeah. So we are looking at Google Slides, and it's really easy to manage and create a really nice looking presentation. And in the before the break, we replaced these images based on, we used the template, and then we replaced the images in the template with these ones that we uploaded from our computer to Google Drive, and then we brought the images from Google Drive into the document, which is this. Okay, before the break, we were looking at the insert function, and I got a bit distracted with Google Photos, so I'm going to try and see if I can show you Google Photos quickly. So what is Google Photos? Google Photos is another arm to, let me just put our password in. Password 1, 2, 3, 4, only joking. Forgot my password now, trying to be clever. Here we go. Okay, so Google Photos is another kind of arm, another application, if you like, where you can store all your photographs, okay, on the cloud, as they call it. But it's just another storage space on your Google account, and you can organize your photographs and do lots of cool things with them. Now, I do use it. My images, my personal images get uploaded to there automatically when I get Wi-Fi, but I haven't used it. I don't use it religiously. I do use it for some social media images every now and again. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview because I'm not 100% familiar with it. And if you can hear that lovely bang in the background, that's the builders smashing the wall to bits. So hopefully you don't see me go that way very quickly, because if they do, they've probably knocked the wrong thing out. But yeah, Google Photos is a way we can organize and store our images, and they've got an edit function in there where you can tweak the images as well. The reason why I mentioned Google Photos is that in your Google Slides, which is here, you can, or this was the most recent one we messed about with, you can insert images from Google Slides as well. So from Google Photos, sorry. So for example, if you upload your images and you would like to back your images up to Google Photos, I'll show you how to do that, because that's just the same process as you would upload an image to Google Drive. But this is solely for images, no other documents. Although I've never tried uploading other documents to it, so that may be possible. but you can link your images to that, so it might be easier if you use this quite heavily. It might be easier for you to find your images. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly show you now how to upload an image. So I'm going to click upload. I'm going to click from, so you can there we can see now we can bring in an image from Google Drive. So we'll do that one in a minute, or we can upload it from our computer. So I'm going to upload this image that was in our what we downloaded recently. Okay, and I'll just quickly show you in the view this image here. So I'm going to upload that, and you're presented with two options. I always like to keep the original quality. However, you've only got, I think it's 15 gigabytes of storage with the free Google package. If the quality of the image isn't a big deal breaker with you, and you've got lots of images, storage saver option is probably where you want to be going. But if you've only got a few, I mean, for example, Google images. How many images? Many images or photographs, more precisely, will 15 gigabytes hold? There we go. So let's have a look. Google says 15 gigabytes of storage that comes with every account will last most users several years. Okay, it doesn't really tell me what I want it to see. Let's see how many. All right, here we go. There's a little table. This is what I'm trying to get at here. So if the image is taken on a camera, which is 8 megapixels, you could store 16 gigabytes, 6,000 images at that with a camera of that quality, and that would 6,000 images would go into just slightly over the threshold of what Google have to offer. Okay, and then as you can see, as the quality of the camera increases to 24 megapixels, it reduces the number of pictures that you have. But 6,000, 2,000 images are quite a lot of images, so you might not necessarily want to compress your images depending on how many you got. So we've uploaded that image to Google Photos, sorry. I'm going to close this. So there you can see that's the image that we've put in there. I'm just flying through this because I didn't intend to teach this today, but I just want to show you how we can link this to our slides. And one last thing I want to show you is if you double click on the image, it comes up with the image in a bigger version, and then we can share it, but we can also edit it as well. So we've got some different edit options here. We can use auto edit. We can change its there's different filters in there, and then you can use that slider to change its effectiveness. I quite like this one. Gives it a bit of a more warmer feel to it, but you can just play around with it, and there's lots and lots of different options. Color, pop, as you can see, makes the image, like, let's say, pop, or increases the contrast of that image. You can rotate and crop and all kinds of things there. Okay, but that image you click done. Once you're done, that image is can be linked to your slide. Okay, and just to demonstrate, I'm going to create a new slide in there. I'm going to insert an image from my photo account, which is there, as you can see. Whack that in there, and there we have it. And just to demonstrate, it's a link. Let's change that to a black and white image. I'm going to click done. Let's go back. That's the image that's been changed to that black and white one. We go back to here. It should I should really learn my lesson by doing things that I've never done before. But like I say, I'm a bit of a wild character. What can I say? You should be able. That should update, but it hasn't. I'm not too sure why. But maybe you need to bring it in again. So insert image from photos. Let's insert that again. I'm not too sure there, guys. And I think I will learn my lesson one day. I'm not too sure why that hasn't updated, but I'm sure there is a way of updating that image, and I'll try and figure that out for you next week because I don't want to waste any more of your time. But I'm just trying to demonstrate that you can link your images from your Google Photos account to your slides. Okay, just one last quick investigation before. Yeah, for some reason that hasn't updated, but there you go. So there's several ways of bringing in images. All right, so let's go back to our tasks. We've got 2 more tasks to do today, 2 more little activities. Let's have a quick look. So the animation thing is really what I want to show you, and I'll see if I can quickly demonstrate what I've come up with as an example. Bring this over here so you can see it. Right, so I'm going to show you something very simple, and you guys will be able to do this a lot better. But this is what you can use Google Slides for. So as you can see, that circle just drops down, and each one of those moves is a new slide. And to demonstrate that, on the left hand side here, here's the slide, and here, there's the image. And all I did to create that, guys, is I'm going to create a new document. Get rid of these because I don't want them for the time being. Get rid of that. And I'm going to copy this circle. I'm going to change the color. I'll bring that in actually first. Paste it in there. Control V. Change the color so you can see I'm on a different document. And all I did was right click. Remember before the break, I said if we right click and press duplicate, it just duplicates that slide. And then all I did was move that circle. Right click, duplicate, move that circle. Right click, duplicate, move the circle, so on and so forth. So when you go to the presentation, that move looks as though the movement through the slides looks and simulates that animation. All right, very, very simple. But that now that you know that you can use that, and I don't think there's any limits to how many slides you can have. That might open up the possibilities of other animations a little bit more advanced than that. So that got me thinking, what else can we do with this? Could we do something like this perhaps, where we change in the shape and the color at the same time to create a little animation to improve, basically to make an image, a presentation, if we're doing a presentation to a group of people, to make it a bit more interesting than just still images. Remember, we can bring audio in. So I'm going to tick off my list here because I remember I wrote down to show you Google Photos. I'll put audio in there because I haven't showed you audio yet, and video. I'll see if I can download some video before the end of the session. Got half an hour. Okay, so to do that, guys, to do this one, all I did was click on the shapes. Now, if you remember in our drawing session last week, we had a series of shapes, and if we click this button here, the shapes button, these are the different shapes that we have, and it's the same shapes that we have from Google Drawings. And if you look at them, we have a smiley face there. So all I did was drew the smiley face, and then if you look at the top section here underneath tools, there's a fill color. I changed that color to Media Savvy Pink, but we're going to change it to, I don't know, orange, just to show you the difference. And then if you look at this shape, and it has a little, well, let's change that color a little bit because it's probably not the best for the example I'm trying to show you. You look at the shape, it has a little handle here. A yellow handle means it's an editable area of that shape, of that predefined shape. So what that means is, if you click on it and hold it, you can change the way that shape is. So obviously this is a smiley face, but if you click on the handle and move it up, you can create a sad face. Okay, and then what else you can do is you can obviously change the color like I've showed you there. And if you do that gradually, duplicate that, move that down, change the color, duplicate that, move the smiley face down a little bit more, change the color, so on, so on and so forth. Move that down, can't go anymore, change the color. What you have is this kind of idea going on. Okay, so again, it's this just with a little bit more changes. Okay, and that's how easy it is to do. It then got me thinking, can we do something else? So I start playing around with this little character here. Downloaded this little image from the internet, and I thought, could we make a character move? So I give it a go, and it worked. And all I did there was a bit like, you know, when you used to do, you may have done this as a child, you used to draw a little character on a piece of paper on a pad, and then you do a little animation that way. It's exactly the same thing. It's called stop animation, a series of still images. As you can see, there they are there. That's the first one. And all I did, I'll show you what I did now. Okay, so what I did was I found the image on the internet, and what I typed in here was, I think it was line drawing. What's it called? Stickman drawing. Stickman walking image. And there you go, you've got a load of different images here. I wonder what happens if you type in stick woman. Oh, I better not. God knows what I'll come up with. But stick man walking image, that's what we'll keep. Keep for now. So I found some images. I can't find the one that I found. There we go. We've got. Oh, there we go. That'll do us. And what I did was, I didn't download the image. This is a royalty-free vector, but for quickness and ease, I just like to use a screenshot. The reason why I like to use a screenshot is that I don't need to download the image and I don't need to manage the image. I just use the image there. It's just a little trick that I do. I'm not saying it's best way of doing it, but it works for me. And to do that, I've done a screenshot by, this worked quite well last week, I thought, so I'll show you what a screenshot button looks like on the keyboard. So if you look at see the little print screen button here, is this little button here, that one there. So you press that, it captures the entire screen of your image. Okay, and then if we go to our basic animations, I'm just going to whack in a slide here, get rid of the title information, and I'm going to Control and V to paste in my screen. Now, as you can see, I've got two screens on my link to my computer for this stream, so we need to get rid of one. But you've got a crop option here, and then you can crop your image down, and that's all I did, guys, to achieve this here. That's what the image was. So I crop the image down to the individual person, clicked off it, and then I reduced it down to that individual, and then copied and pasted it. So let's get rid of this now. This is what I had. Double click, there's the image, there's a screenshot there. I cropped it down to that, duplicated that, and then I cropped it down further to the individual, clicked on the presentation page, duplicated that, and it is exactly the same as that ball falling down from the top of the page, or the face changing. I just moved it slightly, double clicked on the image, and then I moved it along to the next position of that character, the next hands and feet position. Clicked off my screen, duplicated that, so on and so forth, okay, until I've got a few different kind of frames of that character moving. Moved it along a little bit more, double click, moved it down to this situation here. Now this is not going to be perfect, but this is how I've done it. Moved it along a little bit more, dragged it along, okay, duplicate one last time, moved it along, double click, oh that's wrong, Control Z is undo, by the way, click, move that along a little bit more, click on the page, and then let's start from the beginning. Okay, let's press present to see the full screen, go down the pages, and there you go, it's moving. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So why don't you guys have a play around with that for the next session, and let's see what we can come up with in terms of animation. It's a lot more engaging than boring presentations, and I'm sure we've all sat through a few PowerPoint presentations in the past that are quite not the most engaging, but you might be able to use Google Sheets for something a little bit more interesting, and that's just a little introduction into that. What else can I show you? I want to show you a little bit more of this, right? So let's have, this screen is very simple, isn't it, right? This page is just a white page. What happens if we try and change the background to orange? That makes that look a little bit more interesting. Granted, this image here would need some attention because it's just on a white background, but let's just ignore that for a minute. What we can also do, what I noticed before, was we can use gradients. So if I click on this preset gradient, can I edit it? Yes. If you click the little plus button, it comes up with a custom gradient control panel here. Now what we can do is we can mess about with our gradients. You can pull this, move the slider, rotate the shape. You can rotate that 180 degrees, and you should be able to add. Okay, so you can add different spots. So that spot now could be an orange, pink, for example. You can take that off, now add another color. That color could be, let's say, a really light blue, and then let's say we want that a really dark blue. Well, that's not a really dark blue, but you get the idea. Just dark blue there. So to do that, guys, all I did was click custom again, and then you presented with this window, and you can choose wherever you want that color to be. Okay, and you can mess about and create your own gradients. If we do that though, let's just rotate this a little bit. Custom, rotate that. 90, that's 90. 180 should be the other way. That's wrong. That'll do. Okay. What that does is it could create a nice night scene, you know. So if you could use this for storyboarding, which I mentioned before the end of the break, or before the break, sorry. So you can mess about with things like that. Also, if we go back, press the wrong button. If we go to the background again, I clicked on something by accident and I didn't realize it was available. You can put an image to the background, so you could have your own sketches for a background in there, or your own image for your presentation, and you would search that the way you would search. You have searched for images previously. You can either go to Google Drive, you could use your photos. These are all my photographs. Here's something to show you guys. I'm just going to quickly show you this. This wasn't intended, but I might as well show you. That is a really distorted image of the hole that's been put through the wall between the two buildings. Media Savvy's on this side, and this is the vacant building at the minute. So that's some of the demolition that's going on. If you can hear the banging. Okay, I'll get rid of that. So basically, cut a long story short, you can bring in your own images, you can bring in your own sketches, and you can really play around with this animation idea. I think this is a really quite a cool little way that you could use Google Slides. Now I'm aware that we've got 15 minutes left. We've done some quite cool and little interesting things with Google Slides at the minute, but what I'm going to try and do now is going to just show you the more kind of traditional application of Google presentation, or Google Slides, sorry, for a presentation. So I'm going to talk you through how to make a basic presentation, and let's have a look at the task, because we've got one last task to do before the end of today's session. Let's have a quick clicking on all kinds of buttons here. Get rid of this. Oh, what is going on with my mouse? Get rid of that. Here we are. Right. Create a professional, easily editable presentation. Now, as you know, easily editable is something I strive for when it comes to using Google Documents and Google Drive, or Google applications in Google Drive, because it's quite powerful when it works. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and create a presentation using Google Slides. Go on File, New, File, New, Presentation, and we're going to create a blank presentation. What we're going to use is that pesky logo that I won't do that. We're going to use that pesky logo that caused us a few issues in last session and this session actually. So maybe we should use a different one. No, we will use that one. And we're going to try and create a template for a presentation that uses master pages and uses animations to show a system process. Okay, and I'll talk you through that in a little bit later. But master pages, what is a master page? So a master page is, I'm going to give this a title. I'm going to call this Upcycling Limited So a master page is basically the setup of all these pages. As you can see here, we've got themes, and a master page is basically a theme. Okay, these are the predetermined themes, predefined, and these are all the different styles, different text, different colors going on. And if we click on one, for example, this one, all your slides from there on should have that same style, not necessarily the same color, because that's the front cover, but the text will have its own style of text. The writing will have a different, there you go, different font style there, different font style there, and you can add a new slide. You could change the layout of that slide, and these are the different layouts within that theme. Okay, if we use a different theme, you can change that theme by just clicking on the different types of theme, and there you go. There's different themes. So that a theme is basically a master slide. Okay, let's go back a couple. Undo, back. So the themes are the predetermined master pages or master slides. If we click on slides, range tools, slides. Alright, okay. This is a new one to me. And it's probably a good one for you guys. So I always call these, themes master pages and master slides, and I'm sure Google referred to them as master slides before, but as you can see in the slides section, edit theme, this has been updated by Google, so I think they've changed the master slides term and called it a theme. Okay, so forget master, or if you like, a theme is just a style of a group of slides. So what we can do here is we can change the font, and let's put a nice font in there. Let's try something a little bit different, and let's change the text, the fonts here, so that every page in this theme here, this is called Simple Light. We can change the name to that to call it recycling, upcycling, isn't it? Sorry, upcycling Ltd theme. Click OK. It's going to change the name. There, that's the name of the theme. And as you can see, because I've changed the text on that theme on the theme top page, all of the text font throughout there has changed as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the color of the background, and then let's change the theme color to say that. Is going to do anything. Oh, background, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Alright, if we change the background to this nice color, as you can see, because I've clicked on this, it's changed all of the colors in the background for that. If I want to change the text to make it a little bit more legible, we might want to change that to white. We might want to change them all to white. There you go. Those are all changing as well, and this is the theme. This is the overall look of your slide, the title and all the different text, like all the different texts that will appear in your slides. And these are the different layouts with the slide. So this is like the maybe the front page. This is the second slide. Then you might have ones where if you've got two columns, you might want a slide with two columns. You might have a slide with an image and kind of a bit of text on the left hand side, so on and so forth. And I believe you can add add new layouts by right clicking and creating new ones. Okay, so very quickly you can customize your own slide theme. You can change the title, and then if you go back to double click on your left hand little window here, there you go, that's your slide. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call this Upcycling Limited, and I'm going to put this as how we work. And then I'm going to right click and click new slide, and as you can see the new slide has got the same font that we set in our theme, and then it's given us the option for different text. If that's not the right layout that you like, all you do is right click on that slide, click on apply layout, and then there are the different layouts you might want, with one with 2 columns like I mentioned before, and you can just change it. Now let's go back to our theme for a minute. Let's go back to the slides, click on edit theme. If we want to make this a bit more professional, what are some of the things that we can put in? Well, we could put in our logo, couldn't we? That dreaded logo that caused us a lot of issues before. Let's insert it, and we can insert it. Let's see what options we got here, because I'm not going to guarantee anything this time. We can insert text box, audio. Remember, I need to remember to show you how to do that. Image. If we insert an image from Google Drive, let's see what we have available to us. My Drive, I'm just going to have a quick navigate, change that. There's nothing there. Right, so as you can see, you can't link in your Google Drawings chart, diagram, word line. Yeah, you can't. This is one of the scenarios that we had last week where you couldn't import your Google Drawings. So remember, we come up with a solution earlier this this session, and we created our own logos folder, and there's our logo there. So we're going to insert that, and we're going to scale that down, right down. I'm going to put that in the left hand corner, and what I might do, to be fair, is I'm going to create a, I'm not saying this is going to be the prettiest thing, but just to give it a little bit more of an interesting look, I might put a little stripe at the bottom. I'll change the order and send it back one, so the logo sits at the top. Get rid of that line. So to get rid of the line, that's the fill color, which is grey. We're going to put that to white, and then we're going to change the line to transparent. And as you can see, I've made the most obvious error, and I've done it on this only template. Sorry, this only layout to the theme. So all we need to do is select the logo, select the shape, Control and Z to remove it or to cut it. Click on the theme kind of master page, if you like. Control and V to insert it, and as you can see, it applies that to all of those images there. Right? If we click back on the left hand sidebar, this will take us back to our document, and then there you go. We can add as many pages as we want, and it's going to keep that logo there, so it looks a little bit more professional. Now, looking at the time, it's probably good that we're coming up to a little bit, coming up to the end of the session. We just started to use some massive earth-shattering kind of machinery. God knows what they're doing. But we'll soldier on for the next 5-10 minutes. And this is how you create a your own theme to your own presentation. Okay, you can save that now. Okay, obviously we already created the name, and without adding any text, you can build up your presentation master page or your presentation template, if you like, and even call this template. So the next time that you want to use it, you can click. Next time you want to create a copy from it, you can click make a copy from entire presentation. We can call this now process how we work. Maybe we work. Okay, and then created a separate document, a separate slideshow from our template. So there's our template, and this is how we work, and that's how you would use that as a template. Okay, now what happens if your corporate colors change? Well, all you need to do then, you wouldn't need to go and change all your themes. That would just be ridiculous. All you would do is go into your slide, edit theme. The corporate colors now changed to green. Change the background to green. Done. There you go. Again, I've done exactly the same thing. I've clicked on that first slide. The second slide down. It should be the master one. So there we go. Change that to green. And then all those colors change there, apart from that one because that's where I messed up. Let's try again. I've clicked edit undo. The shortcut to that is Control Z. I've done that twice to get back to where we were. Clicked on the top one, change the color. There we are, all green. And then you might want to change the style to something else. And then all your text styles changed. And that in that very short space of time, you can create a completely whole new looking document by just doing a few little clicks. So coming back to our presentation and our activity today, we've created a professional looking, easily editable presentation. Well, we've done that. We've used master pages, but I'll call these now what's it called? Themes. And I'll put themed pages. And use an animation to show a system process. Well, we've covered animation today, but we haven't had time to do that bit. So what I'll do is I'll highlight that, and we'll pick that up next week when we move on to Google, just before we move on to Google Forms. All right. So my throat is getting dry now. I've got a little bit of tea left, and we've got a few more minutes just to kind of summarize. Okay, we've had quite a lot going on today. It's been a really cool day. We've looked at how to create a slideshow from your photographs, how to upload images, how to download them, where to store them, how to use templates, how to create your slideshow from a blank document. We've looked at how to create quick animations. Well, one thing that I didn't show you, and I think it's really quick, it's really a real quick one actually, is transitions. Okay, file transition, slide transitions. If you click on this button here, at the minute, if we go to our presentation, it just flicks from one to the other. Well, actually, there's nothing on there, so you can't really see. But if I put 1 on there, 2 on there, 3 on there, take that to the presentation, you can see it just quickly flicks from one to the other. Yeah. So I'll make these a lot bigger. I'll put that. Just to show you, this is just to quickly show you. Get rid of that, get rid of this. Just want to quickly put this in the middle, just to show you quickly. I'll duplicate this a couple of times. change that number to 2. I didn't think the numbering was very obvious, so I'm just making it a bit more obvious. So if you go to here, 1, 2, 3, okay. Now it just bounces from one to the other. It just changes. It doesn't actually transition. It just moves from one to the other. If you click on the transition button, you'll come up with this slide transition here, and then you've got a load of predefined transitions. So we've got a dissolve, and if we play that, it'll give you a little preview of what that looks like, where it just fades in and fades out to the new one. You can change its speed. What else do we have? Slide transition. We stop that. We can change that to slide from left to right, and we'll play that. Your slide goes like that. So these are cool little additions that kind of like tweak and elevate your presentation up to the next level, I guess. Cube. Let's see what that does. Okay, but one thing I would say is, if you've got a presentation, maybe stick to one slide transition. Okay, unless you've got an actual reason, unless you want like one really important fact to jump out, one really important slide, then you might want to choose a different transition. But don't bounce from all of them at once, because it'll make your presentation look less streamlined, less professional. Okay, so always be mindful of what you're choosing. So that's the transitions, and then what we also have. Also, we've got apply to all, so you can apply that one transition to all of them, as you can see. And one last thing I want to show you is animation. And I'm only going to be at touch on this because we've definitely run out of time. But if we click on here, we can animate our text or our boxes or whatever else it may be. There's only a few different types of animation in here. There's a list of these. Here's a list here, so that can fade in, fade out, fly in from the right, and let's just see what that looks like. There you go. We can have what else we got on there. We can, this cool one looked quite good. Zoom in, so that zooms in at the point, which just gives it a bit more of a dynamic feel. As you can see, the slide is actually got the slide transition where it changes into a cube and rotates, and then the object or the text or the number one has got its own animation as well. Let's see what else we have. We might have a different one. This one's maybe a little bit silly in my opinion, but we'll give it a go. Depends on what you're trying to get across. Okay, so guys, we covered an awful lot today, and I probably need to just slow down a bit and go and have myself a cup of tea. But I think we've definitely covered quite a bit, and I would really urge you to fill in our feedback form. As you can see, there's not in there. We have a feedback form. It's at the beginning of the presentation. Fill that in if you've got any feedback, or contact us on our normal social media, and just let us know if there's anything else that you would like to learn within the realms of Google Drive. One thing I would like to show you before we finish for today is a few of the cool little bits of learning. I always like to end my sessions with some other areas or opportunities to learn. Okay, and there's some free online digital courses available, and this slideshow will be available for you guys to access at the end of the session. I'll upload it afterwards, and this is a really cool website, and if you use the link within our website, it'll take you to this place, this website. So sorry, if you use the link on the slideshow presentation, it'll take you to this website. It's called Learn My Way, and basically, I've never been on this before, so it's a journey for both of us. But you can select how you want to learn, and there's different, by the looks of it, different ways to to learn basic computer skills. Online basics there, you've got there using online forms, using emails, search engines, what have you. Spreadsheets, this is quite cool. We've been doing this, but we've been using Google's suite instead of Microsoft, but there's some really cool things here by the looks of it. How to getting started with spreadsheets, working with numbers in spreadsheets, adding extra information. Oh, and there's a little quiz at the end, and this is all free. All you need to do is register. Okay, so there's lots of really cool things. Internet skills, video calling, online safety is a really big important one, especially if you've got if you're parents, guardians of children or vulnerable people. This is really, really important, online safety. That might be useful to look at. Finding jobs, so on and so forth. Okay, so have a navigate through that for next week. There's also a directory here, and I haven't been on this yet, but there's some more online learning here. Okay, and if you go through us, Media Savvy, if you search for us, I think it's possible to do that. I'm reliably informed. So where it starts here. There's a when you register, I'm guessing, I'm not entirely sure, but I'll find out for you next week. You can find a provider, and we are registered on Learn My Way in one way, shape, or form. I've just been informed about this just before I started today's session, but we are definitely registered on here as a provider. So if you go through us, if you select us as a provider, we will be able to offer you some online support as well. Okay, through the courses that you choose to enroll on through this website. All right. Any questions? Give us a shout. Like, as you can probably tell by now, I do fly by the seat of my pants a little bit sometimes, and this is the way I've learned IT. To be fair, IT doesn't need to be learned. It doesn't need to be learned all on courses online or formally. The best way I learn is just by doing and getting to a little stumbling blocks, and then figuring out how to, or not figuring out sometimes, on how to get around those blocks. But that's the way I learn, and it hasn't really harmed me until the last couple of sessions where I've tried to do something live and it hasn't worked. But we've got there in the end, guys. We have. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's session. Next week we'll be looking at Google Forms, how to create some forms and obtain really important data that could be for your community group if you're running a community group, or your business if you want to gather some information from your clients or potential customers, or like us, if you want to get some feedback for your training sessions. And Google Docs looks like this, and it's just an online document making application, and we'll be showing you how to use this next week. All right, guys. But until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy the, well, it's not sunny anymore, but hopefully the sunshine will come out for you at the weekend. As always, be safe, okay, and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you back here next Thursday at 1 o'clock. Okay, thanks very much, guys. See you later.